Young immigrants who came to the United States illegally when they were children became eligible for temporary legal status 2 years ago. More than 500,000 of these immigrants took advantage of the so-called Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals program. The Obama administration is now granting extensions to the program, but it's still not clear how all of this fits into immigration reform. Joining me are immigration attorney Lilia Velasquez and Alondra Garcia, who was granted temporary legal status 1 year ago. Lilia, before this deferred deportation program started 2 years ago, what was life like for many of these immigrants who came here as children?
It was a great degree of frustration. Many of them knew they were graduating from high school, but they could not aspire into higher education. They would say, "What for? I won't be able to get a driver's license. I won't be able to get a social security number. I won't be able to be employed." And so they were really discouraged that they had no future. And, you know, the parents really feel responsible that here are the kids that came when they were very, very young, and now they could not participate fully in society because of their illegal status.
So when this program initially started 2 years ago, the Pew Hispanic Center estimated that about 1.4 million people were eligible to participate. And so far, a little bit more than 500,000 have actually gotten temporary legal status. Why do you think those projections didn't bear true?
Well, I don't know about the Pew research study. I mean, how accurate it is. They came out with 1.4 million, and only 1/3 of those have really benefited. Some of them I know because I interviewed them, they just didn't meet the requirements. They didn't have their high school diploma or their GED certificate. Some of them had a conviction, even though minor, that disqualified them. Some arrived here when they were 16 years in 1 week, so that completely disqualified them. So, you know, it's highly regulated, and you have all those little details and requirements that need to be met. And if they don't meet them, then they cannot apply. Older kids, and that was a real challenge, they graduated from high school but had no paper trail that they had resided continuously in the U.S. since June 15th of 2007, which is the cutoff. And so they didn't have evidence of continuous residence, and you know, I couldn't take those cases, and many who did file got rejected.
Now, Alondra, you got temporary status under the program about a year ago. What sorts of opportunities has this status given you?
I think if anything, and something that gives a lot of people that are DACA eligible or DACA youth is that it not only, it lets them think that, it lets them know that they are contributing to the country. So before, it's just, there's just so much negative stigma, you know, thrown towards us that, you know, first of all, being called illegal, that's a huge strain on us because we know it. And, you know, we like to tell people that we are undocumented. But it's also the fact that, you know, we're always discouraged from everything that we do. If we try to work, we're discouraged to working because they think that we're, you know, working with a fake social or something. If we go to school, we're discouraged from going to school because they think that, you know, we can't get a higher education. There's still not a lot of financial aid out there for us. We just got financial aid. There's not a lot of in-state tuition for a lot of states for undocumented youth. So there's a lot of barriers that stop us from ever really accomplishing much. And when this program started, it really gave people that hope that, you know, they could be treated as human. They could be treated as Americans, and they could be treated as they're contributing, not just, you know, not just this illegal, you know, status that they have that, you know, controls their life. It's more of a, you know, well, I'm still Alondra Garcia. I'm not illegal. I'm not anything else other than Alondra Garcia and a hardworking student.
How has your life changed, though, since getting this status?
Well, I was able to quit my really low-paying job that I worked for 3 years because there was no other job I thought I could get at the time. I was able to quit that job and really pursue a job that I knew I was gonna love, and I knew that I can get with my degree. I was able to get more involved in the community because I wasn't afraid to come out as undocumented anymore, whereas before I thought I could be deported if I even like hinted that I was undocumented. I was able to travel all over the country. I was able to go to DC and Phoenix and Kansas with my job, and without having fear that they could look at my passport, flip through the pages and not find a visa and then get deported through there. So there's just like, even traveling is just a huge privilege for a lot of people that they don't take into account. And for us, you know, we're barricaded by checkpoints, and it's hard for us to even think we can travel.
Lilia, I want to ask you the final question. So, you know, the Obama White House has extended the DACA program. Do you expect more immigration action like this if Congress does not enact immigration reform?
Well, I think it depends on who gets elected in 2016. Clearly, Democrats will be in favor of extending DACA, you know, every 2 years. And I mean, it's better than nothing. And if we can have it for 10 years or 15 years, we'll be very grateful. But it is not immigration reform. And kids cannot really plan for the future and say, one day I will have permanent status and one day I will become a citizen. So this is just a temporary fix. We need it. But what we really need more is immigration reform.
And we're going to wrap it up there. Lilia, Alondra, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.